All right, ladies and gents, it is rare. Well, it's not rare that I cast Lowy the Legends, but it is rare that I cast Lowy the Legends that are this experienced. We have 778 elo for Lord Willow here in the red, playing as the Persians, my cat's favorite civ. And then down here in the blue, we have Wandering Rock, and Wandering Rock is 788 elo, playing as the Bulgarians. Why? Are these the most experienced low elo players you've seen? Well, they might not be the most experienced, let's be honest, but they both have over 600 games. They both have around 350, 300-ish wins and losses, and they're facing up against each other. You know, sometimes I'll see players that have 100 games, and then someone's got 20 or 30 games. But no, these guys have experience, okay? They're still sub 800 elo. I'm curious to see what they've been doing over the last couple hundred games, because sometimes players, they got unique ways they like to play the game. And we're going to see right here for Red. Red has actually started off with 3 houses. Interesting. Now, I don't know if Red... where are you going with this villager? Are you going to chop this tree? Are you really going to... Okay, Red doesn't like the look of the trees. I don't know what was wrong with this straggler tree, but Red went all over to this one to get it out of the way. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to chop those straggler trees, people. People don't like the look of the trees, and I think it's probably a good time to go to graphics and remove this so you know why these people really don't like the trees. What did I do? Okay, there you go. See, they look too big, all right? Haven't downloaded the small trees mod probably. Red just wanted to chop them all down. But anyways, Persians start with plus 50 wood, plus 50 food. And so you can actually get away with making 3 houses, maybe even 4, plus fording a little lumber camp there. So interesting there from Red. The map is 4 lakes. You can see Wandering Rock is already wandering over here. And we'll see if Red has a quick reaction. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, Red is shooting the scout. Blue is microing like a god. And unfortunately for Blue, the scout goes down. But Red, you got to unring that bell. Red, no, don't let your sheep get away. Don't let your sheep get away. It's a sheep heist, people. It's a sheep heist. But good job from Blue. I mean, Blue did lose the scout, which is a pretty bad thing on this type of map. And I'll talk more about why that is in a second. But Blue is like, fine, if you're going to be aggressive, I'm going to steal your sheep. And you can actually do that intentionally. Running back and forth with your scout, the arrows will actually catch the sheep sometimes. So 2 of the sheep got shot by the town center. And then 2 of them, one of them was stolen, sorry, while Red came back and brought the other one home. Now, the map 4 lakes has a big focus on... Wait, what is it? What's the focus? It's 4 lakes. What would you focus on? Oh, the lakes. Yeah. You got to focus on the lakes. And if you look at Blue, I mean, Blue is scouting to the west with a sheep, but Blue has not scouted a lake. And Blue, this is a rookie mistake, tried to scout the enemy before scouting all the resources at home. And also doesn't even know there's a boar here. So Blue's going to have some problems there. Red, however, is going to have problems because Red hasn't brought in a boar yet, and Red probably just isn't used to having to bring in the boar this quickly. So the sheep being killed has forced Red to adapt. And that's exactly what Red is doing, though we do see a villager heading towards the shoreline, which already tells me, like, it tells me Red is going to be the more experienced player here. Now, I don't know Wandering Rock. Wandering Rock... No way! Let's go! I take it back. Wandering Rock has wandered over here and is familiar with the map. Okay, I was a little concerned. Oh my god, what the... Wandering Rock has walked forward to steal the opponent's boar? What? Well, they are really close together here. That's something that maybe you noticed that I didn't actually say out loud. They are really close together. And what's funny is it might not even be the fact that Blue wants to steal the opponent's boar. It's that that's the only player, that's the only boar that Blue has scouted here. So I don't know if you could really chalk this up to Blue being a lamer. There are going to be some people who are like, oh, he's stealing stuff. He's not true 700 elo. You know, but like, think about it. From Blue's perspective, you're going to lose your scout. And so you wanted to try and get away. He might have just grouped up everything together. Might not have been super intentional. I don't know. And then now, Blue doesn't even see boar number 1 or boar number 2. Now, should Blue move around? Certainly. Should Blue look for that? Definitely. But hasn't done so. And is adding fishing ships, which I like to see. I guess blue is trying to scout all the fish. This is a bit nitpicky for me. I would suggest not doing this with your initial fishing ships because that's when the food matters a lot more. But blue is thinking that he doesn't want to have to look back over here. This is the beauty of fishing ships. So you pre-scout the water, and then your fishing ships will automatically go to the next fish. By the way, the sheep is coming home now, and he's going to tell the tale. They're going to be like, whoa, Jim, you look a lot different. When you left our base, you were on a horse. And the sheep just goes, bah, and they just assume that that's the same thing. Over here, wow, red, okay, placing a mill. Also taking each and every ostrich. I accidentally said tasting, but I suppose they are tasting it. Red still adding fishing ships as well. And this is pretty much how you want to play this map, guys. This is exactly how you want to play this map. I know some people are going to be worried for red due to the lack of food underneath the TC. But having the food here, and then having the potential for food here all the time is huge. You just got to keep producing. And blue has kind of done that. Blue did find this boar. And blue is on the way to Feudal Age, so certainly has benefited from having... Actually, no. I'm trying to think about the... No, it's not like blue had that much more food. I guess blue had the sheep, right? But blue's going up to Feudal Age very quickly here. Meanwhile, red made a barracks. Red's got 400 wood right now, guys. You should have fishing ships in queue the whole time if you're going to have this much wood. And sometimes you can even diversify and place a dock on the other pond. Keep in mind, red has the scout. And red did scout that blue has a dock down here and that there's a pond over here. But really needs to think about dropping off some food and clicking up to the Feudal Age now. It's interesting. Blue is playing very open, but is small walling the wood line. It's interesting that you see this. At high levels, you'll see this a lot. So it's pretty interesting stuff here from blue. It's not something I was expecting from this elo. But what I don't like from blue is that blue has arrived to Feudal Age, and I don't see a barracks. I don't see a plan to really do anything right now. So if you go to Feudal Age and you're not going to research eco-technologies, you're not going to do anything with Feudal Age, you might as well have delayed it just like red. And red is on the way up. We have a low elo mining camp, a little bit of gold income, a little bit of stone income. That's fine. Okay. And I think blue is now going to dock this pond. And red is going to build the Great Wall of Persia over here. Oh, man. Oh, geez. Can you imagine if blue had any type of aggression? This wall's going to take a while. But at least red is walling with 2 villagers. So there's a whole lot of hoping at low elo that the opponent doesn't execute, right? It's like, well, I hope he doesn't do something, because if he does, I'm going to have no clue. Whoa, buddy! Whoa, outposts! Guys, I told you we were going to have good games today. Very interesting game here. Like, think of the strategic aspects of this game. I mean, blue obviously had a rough start there with the scout. Blue now may be concerned that the opponent might come in, but blue's like, I don't want to invest my wood into walling. I'm going to make outposts, which I think is an underrated building in our game. And I'm going to make a dock over here to add more fish. I'm going to make a dock over here to add more fish. And currently, there's 3 docks on 3 ponds for Wandering Rock. I would love to see Town Watch, though. Like, Town Watch gives you so much vision, even from your docks and your houses. But yeah, that villager is just going to make outposts right now. And I don't know if I've ever seen this. And it's a smart play, too. It's not like, oh my goodness gracious. It's funny. I was going to say, I was going to tell red how red should change the walling. But I figured it wouldn't be an issue, but now it might be. You should always wall using the edge of the map on this. So, like, I guess he was going to do it here. But this wall, for example, is bad. You want to wall to this wood line in this case, right? Because you don't want him to be able to sneak a vill. I just wasn't expecting to actually see a sneak vill. This is exactly how you want to play 4 Lakes, guys. Now, I mean, we could see a scout rush or something from red. It kind of looks like a fast castle, but red cannot see that villager is there. And red is just thinking, oh, I'm fully walled. I can't be attacked. This is perfect. And if red pays attention here, we'll be able to see that blue is making a dock. Now, we can get excited, and people can be like, ooh, ah with blue and say, wow, that strategy's so good. And it is, but blue forgot a crucial step, and blue hasn't been on gold. So, like, this, great to see the fishing ships coming out. This, great to see the fishing ships coming out. If you want to fully... What the... A barracks? Okay. But yeah, if you want to fully execute here, you need to be on gold. Because red could look at this and say, I see a blue villager, I see a dock, and red could start to make fires. Now, here's the thing about the ponds, guys. I recommend 8 to 12 fishing ships per pond. I'd say, like, 12 is the highest, right? It eventually wears off. And obviously, it's very exposed if they notice you as well. So, red has enough, and I don't know if this is red reacting or if they just finished a fish. I still don't think red noticed. But red's got enough food from this to make knights and to really execute well in early Castle Age. Blue's thinking long-term, but blue completely forgot to go to gold. And look at this. I'm sure there's a lot of people that can relate where you have a good strategy, but then you forget a crucial step. And blue is now making man-at-arms. And I don't know why. Maybe taking this one step too far. I think red actually did notice this. And look at blue with the quick walls, the house walls. Whoa. I don't know if blue knew that red made spearmen, because spearmen's kind of a funny thing to see against villagers. But the man-at-arm, it's actually going to be a very close fight because there's a weak unit that wasn't microed down fighting there. Man-at-arm is going to end up losing this, and the villager will be trapped. Still no fire galleys. Blue's just like, hope you don't mind it if I chill out over here. Blue's still going to make another man-at-arm, I guess, to save this vill. And there goes blue on the way to Castle Age. Here comes red. This is, I believe, auto scout. This is the starting scout, and blue is wide open. So yeah, blue can see it. But like, blue, you're very exposed right now, and you have very little gold income. So what I like to see from red would be knights. Now this is going to be interesting, guys, because blue is going to lose a lot of vills, but blue is going to kill red's fish. And we've got triple dock over here. I don't know how you're going to afford triple dock off of one on gold, but that's certainly something. Now, I think a big mistake for red would be to show the fact he's going knights in any way, shape, or form. And by that, I mean going over here. I think that would be a mistake. Red's going to town center the middle of nowhere. It's the center of the area, though. So red's like, that's a town center. I'll make it in the center. But red, you should be using your knights right now. And you should, this is your time, my friend. This is your time. Blue, you know, is clearing out red's fish. Red did transition into farming eco, though. So, unfortunately, the food income is going to be way worse over the long term, but does have solid land eco. And this is what I mean. You see this from red? Red is really torn, knows there's a villager over here. There's even a tower going up for that little villager, and is not sending the knights in this way. I just have absolutely no clue what Blue's plan is to protect his base. Like, he did the pond thing right, but we don't have any defensive military buildings whatsoever, and is intentionally, I think, playing open. This could be an issue for Wandering Rock. Now, remember that Bulgarian town centers, they only cost 50 stone, but he made the tower and the outpost, so he doesn't have 50 stone to be able to drop a town center. Like, as good as the food income is from the fish, you need to defend from this. Oh, and red's looking. There is a hole here. Okay, good job from red to focus on this. Is going to kill a villager. And blue, realizing a new house is needed, will drop the house. 2,000 wood in the bank for blue. This area will be won, but red is like, you know what? Forget the ponds. I'm going to focus on land. Also, hello LC, hello Biscuits, hello everybody. This is a really interesting game. Because look at the eco count, 50 versus 38. Now, what you should want to do here in blue's position, the biggest problem for blue is not going to gold. And blue's like, oh yeah, I'll just sell all my wood and buy stone. Okay, so we're going to see blue get a TC. But I'd love to see like double barracks with that wood, right? Make a lot of pikemen. Like, that feels like the natural move when you have that much food and wood. I'm impressed with blue, though. Like, I'm impressed with red, that red continues to run around. I'm impressed with blue. Blue is going to overchop this tree, though. When you get more experience in, you're going to check this stuff. And maybe blue even noticed, like, that the potential was there for that. And is now going to try and leave. Actually, a really good move from red, because if this dock goes down, this will be 6 fishing ships, which cannot drop off any food. And red is dropping a castle here on blue, and blue can see this, guys. Blue can see this because of the outposts. And blue just purchased a bunch of stones, so I'm thinking maybe blue wants to drop a Krepos for 350 stone. And if blue does that in the right spot, it could deny the castle. You can see blue's like, I don't have a hotkey for this. I don't have a hotkey for this. I don't have a hotkey for this. Where do I put it? I don't have a hotkey for this. Okay, and he's going to drop it here. So balance is tough. It's low elo legends, right? Balance is like the toughest thing. Both players have had good strategy, though. Red's like, I'm going to take my one pond and then focus on land. You can see another town center for red. And then you have blue. I know that blue hates to mine gold and loves to use the market. But at least blue is like, all right, I'm going to lose this position, but if I have a Krepos, I can stay somewhat safe here. Blue, I think, has played the map better and worse at the same time. You know, and you could say the same exact thing for Lord Willow and 55 population versus 63. And we're going to see a 1 villager Krepost over here. What? 1 villager Krepost. And red can't see that. That's really funny. Honestly, though, like, red could just use knights to take it out unless blue researches murder holes. Funny is red doesn't actually see this Krepost either. But red's got tons of knights. Like, I think right now red's thinking there's no way I lose this game. And honestly, I'm kind of thinking the same only because of the fact that red is like still doing long-term things like creating villagers. Blue just kind of froze. Seems really concerned. And just doesn't like military buildings. Loves houses. Loves docks. No way red noticed this. No way red noticed this. Maybe red was thinking, I gotta check this area because of the forward barracks. I think red is gonna make a ram here. And okay, the town bell has just been rung, which is not helpful at all. You can see that's low elo panic for you. Honestly, really good job from blue to wall this in. And I think red's gonna be really confused by this. There's been a few times in this game where one person makes a move and the other person, you can tell, just really struggles to deal with it. Like right here, this Krepos will slowly whittle down the knights, and red is now going to have to react and be like, ooh, what do I do? The answer is ram and knight is fine, but you don't know that because you don't know if they're going to have anything. Look, I guess we're going to eventually have rams over here as well. Blue is going imp. In the TC that is about to be rammed down with 0 military. I have no clue why you would think Imperial Age is the play here, except for maybe just having the buildings and having the resources and thinking, what else am I going to do? But that's the town center he's going Imperial Age with, so that could be a problem. We have a longsword here, which somehow wandered in. I think maybe blue clicked the palisade wall, and so he's like, I'll just go the long way. Meanwhile, the Krepost is going down. And the ram will stay up. Or, sorry, the ram will go down. The longsword is now attacking. This is crazy, man. There's so much stuff happening right now. I just don't know why, like, what do you gain from imp here? You don't have any feudal age or castle age blacksmith researches in if you're blue. The only thing I see you gaining from imp is free two-handed swordsman, because Bulgarians get the swordsman upgrades for free. So, you know, that's not particularly good against knights, but that would be something you gain from going Imperial Age. This is going to be dealt with by the 2 knights. It is 61 eco versus 47. I do think red is going to be a little... I've got my concerns over red and his food eco, honestly, after losing the fish. Let's look at the food economy. Sorry to look away from the fights. Like, blue's fishing ships have brought in so much food. Remember, blue hasn't made a farm. So, like, this will continue for blue. This will continue for blue. Blue now getting infantry armor, which is good to see. It is also cheaper for Bulgarians to get blacksmith techs, so. And Conics are better than a knight, but there's upgrades missing right here. And I think blue is just like, here, come back to the TC. Come back to the Krepos. Now I'll take the fight. Really smart thinking. Really smart thinking. I think it's going to end up being a 50-50 fight due to that. This is kind of funny. When a Conic goes down, you'll see it here. The rider gets up and fights. It's called the dismounted Conic. And red must have killed the one Conic over here and thought, okay, we're done. And then you still have this guy pounding away at that house. Also, this Krepost is still up. Red must have gone in with Rams. Like, Red has wanted to be aggressive on the front and then had to defend in different areas. And Red's a little overwhelmed right now. But we have a very defensive castle here for Red. Okay, so blue is in the Imperial Age. Has blue gained anything from the Imperial Age? Well, no. We haven't seen Imperial Age make any difference whatsoever. But it could be, like, okay, to all my low elo players who are watching right now, it's definitely going to get in the person's mind, right? Like, oh, he's in the Imperial Age. Oh, no, he's so much better than me. I think it's a mental victory. Which plays a role because players get stressed out, man. Stress is an important aspect. Like, stressing out your opponent is definitely a big aspect of this game. Okay, camels is a good choice against Conic. That's not a bad choice. Red's going to drop a castle here. Red's really concerned about this, and Red also has made a trebuchet here. It feels like it's much harder for Red to take damage right now. If this gets dealt with anyways. Blue's producing a lot of Conics, and we'll see if this Krepo stays up. The Camel's very weak against arrow fire. So kind of along the same lines of when I say don't trickle Treb, don't trickle Ram. Wait till you've got a few Rams before you make a move. Red has gone in with probably like 4 or 5 separate Rams. It's getting close, but it just seems like a waste. Blue hasn't gained anything from Imp. Okay, excuse me, except for the Imperial Age armor, which is for the Conics that are being created out of Krepos, which are going to be dealt with. The blue expanded on water, didn't really expand a lot on land this game, and tried to like castle drop or Krepos drop and raid on land, which is a strat. But we have Lord Willow with a big eco lead, even though a lot of that's idle. And you've got to think Willow's going to be able to deal with this, and then is making camels and is also pressuring here. And now Wandering Rock, name is pretty fitting, is going to wander away. Whew. Mike says this is exactly what Wandering Rock did in my game against him. Krepos everywhere into mass Conics. Gotcha. I mean, it feels like a pretty good strategy. As long as you have a little bit of military support. I think that's the problem. He wants to make Conics, I think. And that is kind of held him back here because Red was able to hit before those Conics could come out. That's a lot of villagers there. This is just the auto scout. I don't think Red's paying attention to this. Blue's like just passing. And Red has enough stone for another castle. By the way, when did this stable go up? I have no clue. Random stable there. And this, I guess it was being repaired a moment ago by the villager that's in there. Also, how did that Treb not do any damage? What's happening? We have a town center right next to the opponent's town center. Wandering Rock, you've got no support. I don't think that's a good spot for your villagers. And meanwhile, these Trebs are just taking everything out. It feels to me like Red could just go straight Cavalier at this point and finish off the game. You know, he's got the stables already. He's made camels too. Just get the upgrades on these units, and you're fine here if you're Red. Does Red know that? I'm not too sure. Is Blue starting to farm on land for the first time? Oh, yeah. Let's go, baby. Very efficient farms. But, you know, again, the concern is, can you actually protect yourself? You can protect yourself with the town center if Red wants to stream in camels underneath the TC. But Red, of course, has trebuchets. Are Bulgarians a good civ? I think they're a very power spiky civ. Getting free man-at-arm, free longsword, that helps you in early castle age. They are fairly strong if you're able to utilize the cheaper blacksmith upgrades. I think they're a bit awkward, again, at higher levels because of the crossbow meta and a lot of people utilizing crossbow. But overall, I think Bulgarians are good. The cheap Krepos, the unique techs make a lot of sense for the Civ. I think Bulgarians are pretty solid Civ. I think Persians are better for this map, though. I think Persians are better for the map because of their dock HP. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, lesson time, lesson time, lesson time. Here's the deal. Okay, so fish traps are important to mix into your fishing economy after you finish fish, okay? Now, there's a lot of illogical things in Age of Empires 2, and so I can completely understand why Wandering Rock wouldn't know this. And so for that reason, I'm going to talk about it, all right? So first off, there's still fish out here. You really shouldn't make fish traps, you know, because it's 100 wood of fish traps. So I don't know if you should make fish traps at this stage if there's still fish. But let's say all the fish is gone, and you need to go trapping, okay? It doesn't matter where you put the fish traps. I understand it'd be more realistic, like, oh, there was fish out here in the deep water. Let's put, the deeper it goes, the better fish we get. Nope, not in Age of Empires 2. Think of it as, like, your dock is your mill, and your fishing ship is your farmer, and your fish trap is your farm. You just want it to be as close to the dock as possible. So this actually makes things pretty inefficient for Blue. Blue might not know that, though, and so, yeah, they've got to travel back and forth a bit further. I've seen some pretty bad ones over the years. You know, I've seen some pretty bad ones, so it's certainly not the worst, but that's not going to help Wandering Rock get food, let's put it that way. It's funny that Wandering Rock's biggest problem has been gold this whole game. Not the food, it's been gold. And Castle goes up here for red. Red's got 4 trebuchets, the magic number I always talk about, but there's one over here. And look at the idols for red. Red's got all these vills in here not working. Camels he forgot about. Someone just said, why did they stop creating vills? It's Lowy the Legends. They're stressed. They're trying to figure it out. Not an easy game, especially when it gets messy. I think like that is kind of Blue's strat. Hit the ponds, make it messy with Krepos drops. And Red's trying to deal with the pressure. There's different types of players in Age of Empires. You have the players who want to stick to a structure, and you will have players who want to break that structure. And that is, you know, even prevalent, or sorry, that is even known to me from all the comments I get on my streams and my videos. And quite clearly here we have a clash of styles. Now I'm looking at Blue, and Blue just queued up 15 fishing ships. Where at? Oh my god! Whoa, dude. A little late. Okay, 15 fishing ships. How much wood is that? Because at the moment, Blue has very little wood. Again, like, Blue, maybe take this gold instead. You actually have the food. It's not that you need more food right now, because you need to spend the food if you're going to bring it in. You think he knows that, but he just hurriedly clumped the traps in a circle? Yeah, I could see that, where he just clicked, and he didn't get to focus on the positioning of them. I get that. My concern for Red right now is simply the fact that Red isn't finishing the guy off. And it makes me feel like Red is forgotten, or has forgotten a couple things. Like, Red hasn't brought any trebs over here. It's funny that it's a TC war right now. And Wandering Rock speaks. He says, wow. What's he saying wow about? Is it wow that he needs houses? Because he's been pop capped for the last 2 minutes. Or is he impressed with Red? He just said wow. But no words after that. And he must be shocked. Like, how did this guy win? How did I lose? Look at my food count, man. Think of all the light cap I could make, as he's making light cap from this stable, by the way. Again, not a structured player. A lot of players make the stables in one spot. They spend all their resources. They work together. Blue's like, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit here. I'm going to do a little bit here. I'm going to do a little bit here. And the castle is in a perfect spot here for Red, who at this point I think should win the game. Red has done a great job with castles locking down the map. This here locks down, or locked down the opponent's base and allowed him to push. This protects his own eco. This protects his own eco. And we have the GGs called. Let's go, guys. Let's go. I get so excited when I see the GGs. Listen, if you're playing, just call the GG, okay? Not for the opponent if you're winning. That's rude. Make sure you let the GGs go out, okay? Happy to see it. I actually wish we could see a rematch between these two players because I feel like I could see the potential of both of their styles. I think for Blue, if Blue would have gone to gold a bit earlier, Blue would have been able, or if Blue wouldn't have been so hesitant to not make pikemen or any army that cost wood and food, I think Blue would have been in a better position in this game. But a very good job from Red. I mean, Red didn't really react when the fishing ships went down, but what Red did, was immediately focus on the land eco. And I liked the transition there, and I really liked how hectic Blue tried to make things. It was just a bit one-sided at times because Blue was not really investing into the land. So this is what we consider a hybrid map. And it was interesting because you have one player who went like super heavy water focus. The other player went super heavy land focus. It's very hard to find a perfect balance for hybrid maps. That's what makes them fun. So both players probably could do a slightly better job of focusing on the one area they lost in this game. But ultimately, if you look at how much water and how much land there is in the map, that land focus is going to end up being the key in the middle of the game. And it ended up working out. What if the losing party doesn't say GG? Is it still rude of you to do so? Yeah, I don't think it's rude to say GG after the game ends if they don't say GG. That's not what I meant. I'm talking about if the game hasn't ended yet and you're winning, saying GG to get them to resign, that I consider rude. Everyone's got their own little moral code for Age of Empires 2, but, you know, if you guys take my advice, call the GG afterwards, regardless. You lose and you're having a bad day, call the GG, okay? If you win and they don't call the GG, just say GG, you know? Spread good vibes. Good game there. Now, guys, who do you think had the most food collected in this game? Actually, no, here's a crazy one. Who do you think collected the most amount of resources in this game? So it's two separate questions. I guess you guys are going to answer both at the same time, and it might be differing. Get first Vil kill and say GG. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I think that Red collected the most amount of resources overall, but I think Blue had way more food. Okay. I was wrong. I was wrong. I saw the wood and I was like, oh yeah, I feel good. No, he only collected more wood. Which I think all that wood was actually queued up in his dock still because of the fishing ship fiasco. But yeah, I think if we were to have gone back to like the 35-minute mark, at this point, it was a bit closer in some of these resources. But yeah, Blue just did not want to focus on land. I think the most glaring opportunity was when Blue was about to hit Castle Age, the opponent had knights, and instead of dropping a couple barracks and making pikemen, with all that food and wood, he just dropped a Krepos, which did very little for him. So, anyways, GG there. There's the KD for you as well. It was very close. That was on screen for most of that one. I'll have to look out for these players more in the future. I'm especially happy that these two were able to focus on the water. You see a lot of low elo players just kind of skip out on that and not know what to do. Yeah, for Blue, I mean, just didn't really have the military numbers to control the map. Gave up a lot of ground, and I think was hoping, just had the fingers crossed there that Red wouldn't be aggressive. And if the opponent doesn't punish you on land, and then you have the fish boom, and they don't, you could probably get into those conics, which is what Blue wanted to do there. But Lord will punish them nicely. Let's see how fast they were, and woo! Even that was even. Look at that. Their eco and their military APM was very close. Good to see that even their speed was close there.